Go.
Well, there was no waiting for the Chinese crew off the start on that. Really quick onto the first stroke, James.
No, there was no holding back, and I think they may not be fluent in English, but what they have learned in the head-to-head race, you want to get out and get up. And the problem is, again, they may have had a practice start, but they haven't sorted their steering out, and they're getting warned straight away.
They don't want to take any chances with those wooden booms on the far side of the course. First put in place in 1899, but really they probably practiced on the course and thought, I'm going to stay away from them.
Yeah, the reality is, even if they hit it in training, that as soon as your oar clips it, the other oar on the other side of the boat pulls you round, and then you're stuck on it, and it's not like a line of buoys that you can cross. Once you're on those booms, it's going to take you at least 20 seconds to get off, and by which point the race is over.
So we're looking at the Tideway Scullers crew from Chiswick, just by Chiswick Bridge where the boat race finishes. We're looking at Murray Wilcox there in the stroke seat, behind him Bill Fields. And the Chinese crew from Hunan, that's, for those of you that know your China, that's in the south-east of China, and where Chairman Mao, former Chinese leader, was born. This crew won the lightweight championships, the provincial championships in China, and so they're all around about 11.5 stone, these athletes. And interesting little fact, James, they're rowing in a boat borrowed from Hampton School called Moody Bolton, would you believe, which is a school I work at and teach at, and using Hampton blades, if there are any sharp eyes amongst you recognising that.
Well, they managed to coordinate their kit with the oars as well, so it actually looks like they're not borrowing Hampton's oars on those yellow stripe to match the yellow oars. And the one problem is that the hint there is they're in a schoolboy crew, so it's a slightly smaller boat, and therefore they are a slightly smaller crew. They're giving away 2 stone a man, that's 15 kilos a man, to the Tideway Scullers crew. And conditions like today, a headwind and a strong stream, the race is going to take a bit longer, so the advantage is probably with the heavier crew.
So shots on the left of your picture on the Buckinghamshire bank, it's the crew from Hunan Rowing Club in China. On the right of your picture in yellow and red, that's the Tideway Scullers crew, coached by Tom Gale. Tom was telling me that this crew hasn't been able to go to their traditional training camp down in Brive in France. So they've had to do a training camp here in the UK due to people's work commitments and so on. But I do like the way Tom Gale sets his crews up, James. Really, he likes to really get the thought of levering the boat past the blade as opposed to sort of heaving the blade through the water.
Yeah, they've got a nice rhythm there. It's definitely not laboured. It's a little bit tappy from my end of the market. It's as much cadence as power, but it looks very efficient, and they're carving up a nice course as well, because it's the rudder they're using to steer. They steer A with their foot, and B, it's only 4 or 5 postage stamps big, so it's important to just use it as little as possible, but also make sure you're not doing any extra distance at all.
So you can see there the stroke of the Chinese crew. That's Guan Hongfeng, and as we said before, winner of a gold medal in the Chinese provincial championships. The Tideway Scullers crew, James, there's a couple of them here. There's Tideway Scullers A and B. This is the B crew, but the 2 of them are very, very similar in speed. Tom Gale is saying he could have entered one in the Britannia, but he really just he didn't think that was their bag. He thought they were both sort of better in the Cox's division. So Tideway Scullers A and Tideway Scullers B we'll see later on this afternoon. This, of course, is the B crew, so the A crew come later. Very similar speed. And he was saying to me, it's really interesting what the Wyfold has done with the rule change this year. Of course, one former winner allowed in, and that has impacted the quality of the entries in this event.
Yeah, I think in all athletes, if you've got a chance to step up in an event, if you've won one event, and the great thing is there's always an event above you can progress to, and as a crew, to actually better yourself rather than winning the same event year on year. Actually, right, let's go for the visitors, let's go to step up, and you want to keep challenging yourself against better crews.
There's the Chinese from Hunan Rowing Club there. A look across from Guan Hongfeng, the stroke man, and Chinese lightweight rowing is one of the stronger branches of Chinese rowing. Remember back in 2010, that amazing close finish of the lightweight world championships when the Chinese crew grabbed a bronze medal just 0.08 of a second behind the gold crew, with the Australians in the silver in the middle. What a finish that was. And some of those men are going in the Chinese crew for the Olympics. These not quite of that standard, James.
No, they're not of that standard. I mean, there's lightweight men's rowing is incredibly tough because there's only one men's rowing, that's sweep rowing with one oar at the Olympics. So every nation who's at the Olympics in lightweight rowing, their best 4 athletes are in the boat. And you can be the 5th best rower in China and not make the Olympic team, which only happens in lightweight rowing. In heavyweight rowing, you've got the 8, the 4, the pair, so you've got more chance of making a team.
So you can see the crews coming near to the stewards' enclosure. That's where the big tents are. Tideway Scullers have a very handy lead. It'll be very difficult to see them losing that lead as they come to the finish. The Tideway Scullers B crew will see the A crew later on this afternoon, and a lead of more than 2 lengths probably as they go in front of the regatta enclosure. And there's the Chinese crew.
And the key thing with a crew like this, because the Wyfold is held Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, is to make sure you get through every round, but get through as efficiently as possible, because you've got the training session in the morning, then you warm up for the race, then the race itself, the adrenaline. So you want to make sure you're rowing down as efficiently as possible. There's no point in winning your heat by any further than you need to.
So Tideway Scullers really had a lot of success in this competition. The Wyfolds, well, that is at least until the final. They have beaten finalists in 2014, 2015. One man in the 2015 crew that lost is Adam Riddler, the furthest away from the Scullers crew. He returns, but the others, Murray Wilcott, Bill Fields, Nick Marriott, and of course Adam Riddler, commanding out in front, ahead of the Chinese Guanhong Feng, Xinwei Li, Zhu Jian, and Yu Bian in the bow seat of the Chinese.
That's a great way to start. You have a bit of a race in the first 3 minutes, and then you just be able to pace yourself and really warm the engines up for tomorrow.
So Tideway Scullers, I think, just taking it easy in the last few strokes, James, come into the finish line, into our sight here.
Yeah, they'll have been winding down through the gears from, I would say, from Frawley onwards, and that's what happens in these early rounds, is you've got to get through them, but get through them as efficiently as possible, because tomorrow we'll do it all again.
So the buzzer sounds as the 4 men from the Hunan Rowing Club, China, cross the line. Confirmation of that result. Tideway Scullers School B beats Hunan Rowing Club of China in the first heat this afternoon of the Wyfold Challenge Cup.